Just as I promised in a recent video, time to update my ranking of every roller coaster at Cedar Point. Basically, if you are a roller coaster enthusiast or a thrill seeker adrenaline junkie, chances are you've heard of Cedar Point. There is a reason why it's called the roller coaster capital of the world. Now that Top Thrill 2 is officially open, the park has a total of 17 roller coasters in operation. Well, if you look at the park's website, they would say 18, but that's including Pipe Scream, their disco flat ride from Zamperla. Calling it a roller coaster might be a stretch, it's somewhere in that gray area depending on how technical you want to be, but for the sake of this video, I will be ranking 17 of their more traditional roller coasters, and I will not be including Pipe Scream. For those who are new to my roller coaster ranking videos, I break them down into categories. They range from the worst of the worst, which I call dumpster fire, all the way up to the best of the best, elite roller coasters. But before we get to this ranking, please do me a favor by clicking on that like button, and those who are new to my channel, love roller coasters, Cedar Point, and all things theme park, make sure you subscribe. To start things off, the park has two kiddie coasters. Number 17, Wilderness Run. Once known as Junior Gemini from 1979 to 2013, Wilderness Run is your basic kiddie roller coaster, nothing really special here. Just be prepared for those brakes, they really can have a nasty bite. Number 16, Woodstock Express. This is a Vekoma Junior coaster, basically a step up from Wilderness Run. The layout is quite common and can be found at many other theme parks, including Islands of Adventure with Flight of the Hippogriff. Because it's located inside Camp Snoopy, the ride features an additional seatbelt that requires a key to unlock, so be prepared for slower operations than usual. Let's move on to the only dumpster fire in the park. Number 15, Corkscrew. The first roller coaster to feature 3 inversions. Corkscrew is from that era of amusement parks where each and every park was trying to outdo the last guy. Knott's Berry Farm opened their Corkscrew roller coaster with 2 inversions, well, Cedar Point has to top it with 3. The last time I rode Corkscrew was back in 2021, and I have no plans of riding it again, unless my children drag me on it. The double corkscrew, hence the ride's name, over the midway is more fun to watch from the ground unless you enjoy some headbanging. Corkscrew does have that one nice pop of airtime prior to the vertical loop, but one redeeming moment isn't enough to save the jankiness that is to follow. Our next category is middle-of-the-road coasters, and as the name entails, these rides I wouldn't consider good or bad, just right down the middle. Number 14, Cedar Creek Mine Ride. Normally, I have a soft spot for these classic Aero Mine Train roller coasters. Well, the lap bar seat combo doesn't really accommodate someone of my height, so stuffing my legs into this train can be quite the process. Overall, this ride is slow and forgettable. The best sections of the ride are when you come down close to the water. Just as I said about Corkscrew, if my kids want to ride, then we'll get into line, but if not, it's an easy pass. The reason I don't have this in the dumpster fire category is no headbanging. I can get on and off this coaster without worrying about a headache. Number 13, Blue Streak. Blue Streak is the oldest operating roller coaster in the park and the only true wooden roller coaster left at Cedar Point. The coaster features a typical out and back layout and mimics many other olden wooden roller coasters. I didn't experience much airtime during my last ride, which was a disappointment, as you might expect from a wooden roller coaster built in 1964, making it 60 years old this year. It has some rough spots, but if you ride towards the front of the train, it's bearable. Overall, I think Blue Streak is a passable roller coaster, but nothing special. The only time I ever plan to ride this roller coaster is when there's no wait. Number 12, Iron Dragon. With only a handful of these coaster models remaining, Iron Dragon is turning into one of the endangered species. There are only 5 suspended roller coasters still in operation, with 4 of them located in North America. Iron Dragon is the oldest of the suspended coasters left in operation. This roller coaster does not deliver much in the thrill department, as the first half of the ride is just a bunch of easygoing turns. The real fun doesn't begin until the final helix, but by then, the ride is already starting to wrap things up. The most unique part about the ride is the fact that aside from the end, most of the ride is completely hidden in a clump of trees. trees, making it feel like you leave the hustle and bustle of Cedar Point and travel into a completely new world. Number 11, Rougarou. I really held out hope for this once stand-up now converted to a floorless roller coaster, but unfortunately it's just not as good as it used to be. The ride still has some great moments. I think most of the inversions are pretty enjoyable, especially if you ride in the middle seat of any row. The inclined loop is still my favorite element, and I'm happy that this maneuver has been revived on Iron Menace over at Dorney Park. The biggest downfall of Rougarou is the headbanging, which is why I think the line for this attraction is usually on the lighter side. Though it does operate with 3 trains, and their ride team does an excellent job with their dispatches. This is one attraction I typically walk right past at Cedar Point, unless I'm in the mood. Okay, now moving up to our good roller coaster category. Pretty much everything from here on up I consider a must ride during each and every visit to the point. Number 10, Wild Mouse, the newest ground-up roller coaster at Cedar Point. After the closure of Top Thrill Dragster and Wicked Twister, the park threw us a very small bone to tie us over until they formally announced Top Thrill 2. This is an updated spinning Wild Mouse by Zamperla. The ride features a new train model with 4-across seating and comfortable lap bars. The layout is also different from your average spinning Wild Mouse, focusing more on swooping banked turns than quick cutbacks. This is a very enjoyable family coaster, and with 7 cars on the track, the operations are able to keep the line moving. Number 9, Gemini. Gemini is another mine train style coaster by Aerodynamics. However, instead of your simple family-friendly version, Gemini is a full-blown thrill machine delivering on some fun airtime moments. Like most roller coasters at Cedar Point, Gemini was actually the tallest roller coaster in the world when it opened. Of course, it comes nowhere near that record today, but it still delivers some nice airtime. The racing aspect of Gemini is what makes this a fun, re-rideable attraction. Also, because this ride is basically 2 roller coasters in one, the operations for Gemini are amongst the best in the park. So even on a busy day, Gemini is that one credit you can easily and quickly score. Unfortunately, just like Cedar Creek Mine Ride, Gemini suffers from some janky transitions which can make for some unpleasant moments. Thankfully, the roughness isn't enough to keep me out of line, but just be prepared for a couple bumps along the way. Number 8, Valravn. Opening in 2016, built by B&M, Valravn was Cedar Point's 5th roller coaster to break the 200-foot height. This coaster is the reason why I consider Cedar Point to be the Manhattan skyline of theme parks. It's simply beautiful to see amongst the other coasters at the front of the park as you are driving up the peninsula. Most of the time, I would rank a dive coaster of this size a little higher on my list because I really do like these styles of roller coasters, but the vest restraints. Those vest restraints may feel comfy, but they really inhibit the airtime moments of the ride, which is one of the focal points of this attraction. That massive vertical drop is what puts butts in seats, but it's a shame that those vest restraints are so restricting. Also, these restraints might be the culprit to another problem, which is the rattle. I really can't provide a rhyme or reason to this, but sometimes I get a nasty rattle on Valravn, and other times I would say it's butter smooth. Most of the time, the outer seats would have the worst rattle, but again, I've ridden in an outer seat that was pretty smooth. Number 7, Magnum XL200. I have a love-hate relationship with Magnum. During certain trips to Cedar Point, I leave with Magnum being one of my favorite roller coasters. But other times, it leaves me with bruises. I know that some consider this to be one of the best roller coasters at Cedar Point, but I'm just not there with them. Built by Aerodynamics, Magnum was the tallest continuous circuit roller coaster in the world when it opened back in 1989. This ride features a bunch of fun airtime moments, especially during the section when you are returning back to the station. However, these exciting airtime moments can be painful depending on which row you are riding in, and thus my ranking. You truly have to sit in the right seat, in the right car, in the right train to get the amazing experience on Magnum that so many people love. Number 6, Raptor. Slowly working up in my ranking, the main reason being the restraints. I used to hate the over-the-shoulder straps on this coaster, but my last ride in 2023, I thought it was so much better. Built by the legendary B&M, Raptor was the tallest, fastest, and longest inverted roller coaster when it originally opened. Opening in 1994, Raptor featured 6 inversions, which was also another record for inverted roller coasters. Overall, the ride has a decent and layout full of exciting, snappy inversions. The final helix delivers some of the strongest forces I've ever experienced on an invert. Number 5, Gatekeeper. Originally, I wasn't a huge fan of Gatekeeper, but with every trip I make to Cedar Point, this roller coaster grows on me just a tiny bit more. It has an intimidating first drop, especially if you are riding in the front row as you slowly rotate upside down 170 feet in the air. Opening in 2013, Gatekeeper is a wing coaster by B&M, and just like basically every other Cedar Point coaster, it was the tallest, fastest, and longest coaster of its type when it opened. The interaction that this coaster delivers with the front gate is enough to get any visitor pumped up before even stepping foot inside the park. Now, a flaw with basically every wing coaster is that they can develop a rattle dependent on the weight distribution of that particular train, thus delivering some unpleasant rides. Overall, I think this roller coaster delivers more than it disappoints, considering you know what to expect out of Gatekeeper. Each side of the train also delivers a different experience, so make sure to check them both out. Alright, we have now reached the top 4 roller coasters at Cedar Point, the Elite Coasters. I think from this point on, it's pick your own adventure, because depending on who you ask, one of these roller coasters might be your favorite at Cedar Point. With Top Thrill 2 being the new kid on the block, or maybe more like Prodigal Son Returned, I can see it being number 1 for many. I mean, it still has that new car smell, but by and large, each of these roller coasters have their own rabid fan base, so I would say there is no wrong answer here. Number 4, Millennium Force. The original Giga Coaster. Opening in 2000, Millennium Force marked the beginning of a new era for roller coasters. Built by Intimate Amusement Rides, Millennium Force was the tallest, fastest continuous circuit roller coaster on the planet when it opened. Breaking the 300-foot mark was a huge undertaking. This roller coaster's main focus is high speeds and crazy overbanked turns, but it still delivers a few moments of airtime. For the most part, especially if you're riding up front, Millennium Force can be a fun, smooth ride. Overall, Millennium Force is still a great coaster that I love to ride during every trip to the point. It's basically a tradition that me and my daughter have to ride this first thing at the park. Number 3, Maverick. Some consider Maverick to be overrated, but I wholeheartedly disagree. Maverick is a powerhouse from beginning to end. I love every minute of this roller coaster. Built by Intimate Amusement Rides, Maverick opened in 2007, paving the way for wild, out-of-control roller coaster experiences. There was nothing else quite like it when it opened. In fact, the original layout was too extreme, forcing some modifications to be done to the track before it could even open. The theming is also one of the best at Cedar Point, as it's engaging enough to pull you into the world of this wild stallion. Personally, I don't think you would have RMCs like we do today if we first didn't have a roller coaster like Maverick. Number 2, Top Thrill 2. Maybe my opinion will change as I get more rides in, but for now, Top Thrill 2 sits in the number 2 slot. This is an amazing powerhouse of a ride. It took the original coaster and turned it into something bigger and ultimately better. Sure, it's sad that we no longer get that crazy, intense hydraulic launch, but the 3 LSM launches make up for it. Traveling backwards at 101 miles per hour or that final forward launch at 121 miles per hour feels like the coaster is out of control. The massive vertical spike is also a nice addition, providing some decent floater airtime as you stall out about 390 feet in the air. The 2 other major improvements from the original to now would be ride time and operations. Well, scratch that. I was going to say that their operations were really good, but then the park made this announcement. Top Thrill 2 is down indefinitely as the ride is getting some mechanical modifications from the manufacturer Zamperla. However, when the ride was operating, their dispatches were really great, so I'm hoping this is just a small hiccup and we'll get back to riding Top Thrill 2 here really soon. Top Thrill Dragster was about 23 seconds long. The park is now claiming that Top Thrill 2 is a 2-minute experience, but if you time it from launch to break, Top Thrill 2 has about 58 seconds of prime ride time, almost triple in length. Now, as for operations, the coaster hasn't been running that long, but it seems to be pretty efficient, so I think it's going to be operating more efficiently and better than the original. Number 1. Steel Vengeance. Opening in 2018, Rocky Mountain Construction created their roller coaster masterpiece with Steel Vengeance. It features over 25 seconds of airtime, 4 inversions, a 90-degree 200-foot first drop. There's lots to love about Steel Vengeance. From the moment this roller coaster opens up every single day, the ride queue is full, which, if you ask me, is the true testament to how great a roller coaster is. It's kind of hard comparing Top Thrill 2 against Steel Vengeance because they are completely different styles of roller coasters that have their own unique objectives to them. Top Thrill 2 is all about the speed, while Steel Vengeance is about the airtime. Regardless of which one you think is better, these two coasters give Cedar Point one heck of a 1-2 punch. Well, that was my ranking of all the roller coasters at Cedar Point. Did I get it right, or are you ready to throw your phone against the wall? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, this is Extreme Thrills.